Hello, you're listening to Shravani. In this session, let's talk about some applications of linear equations in one variable. The difference between two numbers is 8. If 2 is added to the bigger number, the result will be 3 times the smaller number. Find the numbers. Let's first assume there's a number line. You have two numbers on the number line such that their difference is 8. Now if I tell you x is the smaller number, then what should be the bigger number? The bigger number will be x plus 8. Or if I assume the bigger number as x, then the smaller number will be x minus 8. Okay, so when we are given such statements that the difference between two numbers is 8, you can either assume the two numbers as x and x plus 8 or x minus 8 and x. Isn't it? You can either assume that the two numbers are x and x plus 8, or you can assume the two numbers as x minus 8 and x. You can solve the problem either way. Let's choose the first one here, that is if I assume the two numbers as x and x plus 8. So here x is the smaller number, x plus 8 is the bigger number. Now what is given that if 2 is added to the bigger number, so I take this bigger number and I am adding 2 to it. The result will be 3 times the smaller number, that is 3 times x. Let's simplify this now. You have x plus 8 plus 2 is 10. This is equal to 3x. Let's transpose the like terms. You have 10 is equal to, if I bring this x on the LHS towards RHS, this will be 3x minus x. That means you have 10 is equal to 2x. If I have 10 is equal to 2x, I can write x as 10 over 2, which is 5. So I have the smaller number as 5, then the bigger number will be 5 plus 8, which is 13. So the required two numbers are 5 and 13. Let's solve the same problem using this logic. Now here I assume the two numbers as x minus 8 and x. So here the bigger number is x and the smaller number is x minus 8. Now when I am adding 2 to the bigger number, so I am taking x plus 2. This result will be 3 times the smaller number, that is 3 times x minus 8. So you have x plus 2 is equal to, let's expand this, this will be 3 times x is 3x minus 3 times 8 is 24. Let's bring the like terms to one side. You have 2 plus 24 is equal to 3x minus x. So 24 plus 2 is 26. This is equal to 3x minus x is 2x. So what does this imply? Your x is equal to 26 divided by 2, which is 13. Alright. So you have the bigger number as 13. Then the smaller number will be x minus 8, which is 13 minus 8. That should be 5. So the numbers are 5 and 13 in both the cases. You can solve the problem either way. The only important point is you have to understand how to frame the given word problem into a mathematical problem. Let's look at another example. What are those two numbers whose sum is 58 and difference is 28? Now again, let me consider a number line where I have two numbers such that the difference between the two numbers is 28. If I assume the first number as x, the smaller number as x, then what should be the bigger number? It should be x plus 28. Or if I assume the bigger number as x, what should be the smaller number? It should be x minus 28. So you can choose the two numbers as x and x plus 28, or you can also choose the two numbers as x minus 28 and x. Both these scenarios will give you the same result. Let's consider this first case where I choose the two numbers as in x and x plus 28. What is also given to us in the question is that the sum is 58. So if I add these two, that is I take x and x plus 28. When I add these two, the result must be 58. When we add this, you have 2x plus 28 is equal to 58. Let's transpose this 28 to RHS. You get 2x is equal to 58 minus 28, which is 30. So you have 2x is equal to 30, that means your x must be 30 divided by 2, which is 15. Then what should be the bigger number? X plus 28 must be 15 plus 28, which is 43. So your two numbers are 15 and 43. Let's look at the second case now. That is, you assume the two numbers as x minus 28 and x. What happens? Let's add these two numbers. You have x minus 28 plus x, that is sum of these two numbers is equal to 58. That is, you take 2x minus 28 is equal to 58. That means your 2x is equal to 58 plus 28, which is equal to 86. 2x is equal to 86, that implies your x must be 86 upon 2, which is 43. So if your x is 43, then x minus 28 must be 43 minus 28, which is 15. So your two numbers are 15 and 43 in both the cases. There is a third, more easier method. Let's say you have the two numbers as x and y. Let me assume the two numbers as x and y. The sum of these two numbers is 58. The difference of these two numbers is 28. In this case, let me assume that x is the bigger number. So x plus y is 58 and x minus y is 28. Let me add these two equations, that is x plus y plus x minus y. When I add these two, x plus x is 2x, y minus y will be 0. So you can cancel this. This is equal to 58 plus 28, which is 86. That means your x will be 86 upon 2, which is 43. And if you substitute this x in either of these two equations, you can get the y value as 15. So there are different ways of approaching a solution to a given problem. The only important point is you read the question and then try to express that given word problem into a correct mathematical problem to arrive at a correct solution. Let's look at another example. The sum of two consecutive odd numbers is 56. Find the numbers. Now, how do we choose two consecutive odd numbers? Let us say x is any number. When you multiply any x, irrespective of whether it is even or odd, when it is multiplied by 2, we always get an even number, isn't it? 2x is always an even number. When you add 1 to an even number, you always get an odd number. So, if 2x plus 1 is an odd number, then the next odd number will be 2x plus 3. So, we can choose two consecutive odd numbers as 2x plus 1 and 2x plus 3 respectively. Now, what is given that the sum of these two consecutive odd numbers is 56. Find the numbers. So, let's add them, that is 2x plus 1 plus 2x plus 3. This is equal to 56. Let's simplify this now. 2x plus 2x is 4x, 1 plus 3 is 4. This is equal to 56. When we transpose 4 to right hand side, you get 4x is equal to 56 minus 4, which is 52. 4x is equal to 52, that implies x must be 52 divided by 4, which is 13. So, when x is 13, 2x plus 1, that is 2 times 13 plus 1. 2 times 13 is 26, 26 plus 1 will be 27, and 2x plus 3, that is 2 times 13, which is 26, 26 plus 3 is 29. So, the required numbers are 27 and 29 respectively. Let's look at the next question. The sum of three consecutive multiples of 7 is 777. Find the multiples. Now, how do you choose three consecutive multiples of 7? If x is a multiple of 7, then the next multiple of 7 must be x plus 7, isn't it? And the next multiple must be this x plus 7 plus 7, which is x plus 14, isn't it? So, the three consecutive multiples of 7 can be chosen as x, x plus 7 and x plus 14 respectively. Now what is given? That the sum of 3 consecutive multiples is 777, that is x plus this x plus 7 plus this x plus 14 is equal to 777. Let's simplify this. X plus x is 3x, 7 plus 14 is 21. This is equal to 777. That means your 3x is equal to this 777 minus 21, transposing 21 to right hand side. What is 777 minus 21? It is 756. So if 3x is equal to 756, your x must be 756 divided by 3, which is 252. So x is 252. Okay. Then what should be x plus 7? X plus 7 must be 252 plus 7, which is 259, and x plus 14, that must be 266. So the required multiples, 3 consecutive multiples of 7 are 252, 259 and 266 respectively. Let's look at the next question. A man walks 10 kilometers, then travels a certain distance by train and then by bus as far as twice by the train. If the whole journey is of 70 kilometers, how far did he travel by the train? So a man traveled a certain distance, that is he traveled 70 kilometers. He walked for some distance and then he traveled by train and then he traveled by bus. The total distance he covered is 70 kilometers. Now how much distance did he walk? He walked 10 kilometers. What's given? Traveled a certain distance by train. We don't know how much distance he traveled by train. So let's assume that he traveled x kilometers by train. And he also traveled by bus, but what is given? That the distance traveled by bus is as far as twice by the train. So if he traveled x kilometers by train, then he must have traveled 2x kilometers by bus. This whole journey is 70 kilometers. Let's simplify this now. You have 10 plus x plus 2x is equal to 70. So this is 10 plus x plus 2x is 3x. This is equal to 70. Let's transpose 10 to right hand side. You get 3x is equal to 70 minus 10, which is 60. 3x is equal to 60. So what is x? X is equal to 60 upon 3, which is 20. So he traveled 20 kilometers, that is x kilometers is 20 kilometers he traveled by train. He traveled by bus 2x kilometers, which is 40 kilometers. This is the distance he traveled by bus, this is the distance he traveled by train. So how far did he travel by train? 20 kilometers. Let's look at the next question. Vinay bought pizza and cut it into 3 pieces. When he weighed the first piece, he found that it was 7 grams lighter than the second piece and 4 grams heavier than the third piece. So there was a pizza which Vinay cut it into 3 pieces. Let us assume these are the 3 pieces. Let us say the weight of the first piece is x grams, weight of the second piece is y grams, weight of the third piece is z grams. Now if the whole pizza weighed 300 grams, so the weight of the whole pizza is 300 grams. Now what is given? That when he weighed the first piece, he found that it was 7 grams lighter than the second piece. That means first piece is 7 grams lighter than second piece. That means it must be y minus 7. So what should be y in that case? Y must be, when I transpose 7 to the left hand side, you get y is equal to x plus 7. So I can write y as x plus 7, isn't it? So when we say the first piece weighed 7 grams lighter than second piece, that means the second piece is 7 grams heavier than the first one. So we can assume this as x plus 7. So what is the case with z, that is the third piece? As per the question, the first piece weighs 4 grams heavier than the third piece. So the first piece is 4 grams heavier than the third piece. That means it must be z plus 4. So what should be z? Z must be x minus 4. So if we say the the first piece weighs 4 grams heavier than the third piece, that means the third piece must be 4 grams lighter than the first piece. So, this must be x minus 4. So, what I am trying to do is we are trying to express the weights of all the 3 pieces in the same variable x. So, the first piece weighs x grams, second piece weighs x plus 7 grams and the third piece will weigh x minus 4 grams. Now, what is given? The whole weight of the whole pizza is 300 grams. So, let us add this x plus 7 plus this x minus 4 must be 300. Let us simplify this now. X plus x is 3x, 7 minus 4 is 3, this is equal to 300. This implies 3x is equal to, when we transpose 3 to the right hand side, you get this as 300 minus 3, which is 297. So, your x must be 297 divided by 3, which is 99. So, the weight of the first piece is 99 grams. So, what should be the weight of the second piece? It must be x plus 7, which must be 99 plus 7, which is 106 grams. And the weight of the third piece must be x minus 4, that is 99 minus 4, which is 95 grams. Let us look at the next question. The distance around a rectangular field is 400 meters. The length of the field is 26 meters more than the breadth. Calculate length and breadth of the field. Now, what do we mean by distance around a rectangular field? It is nothing but perimeter of a rectangle, isn't it? Perimeter of a rectangle is given as 2 times length plus breadth. This is equal to 400 meters as per the question. The question also says length of the field is 26 meters more than the breadth. That means length must be breadth plus 26 meters. So, let us substitute this L is equal to B plus 26 in this equation. You get 2 times L, I will replace it with B plus 26 plus B is equal to 400. Let us simplify this now. This will be 2 times 2B plus 26 is equal to 400. When I transpose 2 to the other side, you get 2b plus 26 is equal to 400 divided by 2, which is 200. Let us transpose 26 to the other side. You get 2b is equal to 200 minus 26, which is 174. That means to say your b must be 174 divided by 2, that is 87 meters. So, when breadth is equal to 87 meters, length must be 87 plus 26 meters, which is 113 meters. So, length of this given rectangle is 113 meters and breadth is 87 meters. Let us look at the next question. The length of a rectangular field is 8 meters less than twice its breadth. If the perimeter of the rectangular field is 56 meters, find the length of its sides. So, what is given to us? The length of the rectangular field is 8 meters less than twice its breadth. Let us say length of the rectangular field is L and let us say the breadth is B meters, okay, L meters and B meters. Now, what is given to us? Length is equal to 8 meters less than twice the breadth, that is it must be 2b minus 8. So, if L is the length and B is the breadth of this rectangle, then according to the question this L must be 2b minus 8 meters. Now, what is also given, the perimeter of the rectangular field is 56 meters. Now, what is perimeter of a rectangle? 2 times L plus B. This 2 times L plus B is equal to 56 meters. Let us substitute this L is equal to 2b minus 8 in this equation. You get 2 times 2b minus 8 plus b is equal to 56. That means it must be 2 times 2b plus b is 3b minus 8 is equal to 56. Let us expand this bracket. This must be 6b minus 8 times 2 is 16. This is equal to 56. Let us transpose this negative 16 to the right hand side. You get 6b is equal to 56 plus 16, which is 72. So, if 6b is equal to 72, then b must be 72 divided by 6, which is 12. So the breadth of this rectangle is 12 meters. Now what should be the length? Length must be 2b minus 8. 2b is 2 times 12, that's 24. 24 minus 8 is 16. So the breadth is 12 meters, length is 16 meters. Let's look at the next question. Two sides of a triangle are each 5 meters less than twice the third side. If the perimeter of the triangle is 55 meters, find the length of its sides. So we have a triangle. Okay, what is given? That the two sides of a triangle, each of them are 5 meters less than twice the third side. Now if I assume the third side of the triangle as x meters, so let me assume this side is x meters. Now the other two sides are 5 meters less than twice the third side. What is twice the third side? It must be 2x. 5 meters less than this is 2x minus 5. So the other two sides are 2x minus 5 meters. So this is 2x minus 5 meters. This is also 2x minus 5 meters. It was also given the perimeter of the triangle is 55 meters. What is perimeter? Perimeter is basically sum of all the sides. The perimeter of the triangle is 55 meters. That means the sum of all these sides, that is 2x minus 5 plus 2x minus 5 plus this x, must be equal to 55 meters. Let's simplify this now. 2x plus 2x plus x is 5x. Minus 5 plus 5 is 10. This is equal to 55. Let's transpose 10 to the right hand side. You get 5x is equal to 55 plus 10, which is 65. 5x is equal to 65. So x is equal to 65 divided by 5, which is 13. So your x is 13 meters. That is, the third side is 13 meters. And what should be the other two sides? It is 2x minus 5. So it is 2 times 13 minus 5. 2 times 13 is 26. 26 minus 5 is 21 meters. So the lengths of the sides of this triangle are 21 meters, 21 meters and 13 meters respectively. Let's look at the next question. Two complementary angles differ by 12 degrees. Find the angles. Now what do we mean by complementary angles? Angles which add up to 90 degrees are called as complementary angles. So if I have x degrees as one angle, the other angle must be 90 minus x degrees, isn't it? When we add these two angles, we must get 90 degrees. Only then these angles are called as complementary angles. So because we want complementary angles, I am assuming one angle as x degrees and the other angle is 90 minus x degrees. Let's assume that this x degrees is the bigger one among these two. Now what is given? That the difference between these two is 12 degrees. So if I take the difference between these two, that is x minus this 90 minus x, this difference is equal to 12 degrees. So let's simplify this now. You have x minus 90 minus into minus is plus. So plus x is equal to 12. X plus x is 2x. 2x minus 90 is equal to 12. That implies 2x is equal to, let's transpose this negative 90 to the right hand side. You get 12 plus 90, which is 102. Now if 2x is equal to 102, what does this imply? X is equal to 102 by 2, which is 51 degrees. So if x is equal to 51 degrees, then what should be 90 minus x? 90 minus x must be 90 minus 51, which is 39 degrees. So your required two angles are 39 degrees and 51 degrees respectively. You can also solve the same problem using a different logic. Let me assume that one angle is x degrees. Now what is given? The difference between these two angles is 12 degrees. So I'll assume the other angle as x plus 12 degrees. Okay. One angle is x degrees, the other angle is x plus 12 degrees. So that when I take the difference of these two, it will be 12 degrees. Alright. Obviously, among x degrees and x plus 12 degrees, x plus 12 is the bigger one. Now what is given? That these two angles must be complementary angles. So now I will say that when I add these two, that is when I take x degrees plus this x plus 12 degrees, this must be equal to 90 degrees. So let's simplify this now. X plus x is 2x, 2x plus 12 is equal to 90. When I transpose 2x towards the right hand side, you get 2x is equal to 90 minus 12, which is 78. When 2x is equal to 78, x must be 78 upon 2, which is 39. That means your x degrees is 39 degrees. Then what should be x plus 12 degrees? X plus 12 must be 39 plus 12, which is 51 degrees. You understand? So we can solve the problem either way. Let's look at the next question. The ages of Rahul and Lakshmi are in the ratio 5:7. 4 years later, some of their ages will be 56 years. What are their present ages? So ages of Rahul and Lakshmi are in the ratio 5:7. Okay, so I can assume Rahul's present age as 5x years and Lakshmi's present age as 7x years. So that when you take the ratio, the common factor x will be cancelled, leaving with only 5:7. You understand? So we can assume Rahul's present age as 5x and Lakshmi's present age as 7x. Now what is given? 4 years later. So what should be their ages? 4 years later, Rahul's age will become 5x plus 4 years and Lakshmi will be 7x plus 4 years. What is given? The 4 years later, the sum of their ages is 56 years. So the sum of these two, that is 5x plus 4 plus this 7x plus 4 must be 56. Let's now simplify this and solve for x. 5x plus 7x is 12x, 4 plus 4 is 8, this is equal to 56. Transpose 8 to the right hand side, you get 12x is equal to 56 minus 8, which is 48. When we transpose 12 to the right hand side, you get x as 48 upon 12, which is 4. When x is equal to 4, what should be 5x? That is, Rahul's present age must be 5 times 4, which is 20, and Lakshmi's present age must be 7 times 4, which is 28. Let's look at the next question. There are 180 multiple choice questions in a test. A candidate gets 4 marks for every correct answer, and for every unattempted or wrongly answered questions, 1 mark is deducted from the total score of correct answers. If the candidate scored 450 marks in the test, how many did he answer correctly? So now there are 180 questions in a test. The student, either he answers it correctly or he answers it incorrectly, that is wrongly, or some questions are unattempted. Now what is given? The candidate gets 4 marks for every correct answer. Let us say the student has x correct answers. Then how many marks should he get? He must get 4x marks. Okay. Now if there are x correct answers, how many answers are incorrect or unattempted? Obviously there must be 180 minus x. Now what is given? For every unattempted or wrongly answered question, 1 mark is deducted. So we are giving 1 mark to every unattempted or incorrect answers, and we are deducting that marks. So it must be 180 minus x into 1, that is 180 minus x marks. The total score of the candidate is 450. The total score must be the marks or the score for the correct answers minus the score of the incorrect answers, that is this 4x minus this 180 minus x. This must be equal to 450. Now let's simplify this. You have 4x minus 180 plus x is equal to 450. 4x plus x is 5x. 180, if I transpose it to the right hand side, this will be 450 plus 180, which is 630. So now if 5x is equal to 630, that means your x must be 630 by 5, which is 126. So the number of questions which the student answered correctly is 126. Let's look at the next question. A sum of 500 rupees is in the form of denomination of 5 rupees and 10 rupees. If the total number of notes is 90, find the number of notes of each denomination. So there is a total number of 90 currency notes. Okay, there are 90 notes. There are two types of denominations. One is 5 rupees and another is 10 rupees. So there are two types of notes, 5 rupee notes and 10 rupee notes. Together there are 90 notes. Let us assume there are x number of 5 rupee notes. Then there should be 90 minus x number of 10 rupee notes, isn't it? If there are x 5 rupee notes and total number of notes are 90, then there must be 90 minus x 10 rupee notes. Now if there are x 5 rupee notes, that means how much you have with you? You have 5x rupees with you. And if there are 90 minus x 10 rupee notes with you, that means what is the value? You have 10 into 90 minus x rupees, that is you have 900 minus 10x rupees with you. Now what is given? The total sum is 500 rupees. So your 5x plus your 900 minus 10x rupees together must be equal to 500 rupees. Now let's simplify this. This is 10x. Let's simplify this. So you have 5x plus 900 minus 10x is equal to 500. So this must be 900 minus 5x is equal to 500. Let's transpose 5x to RHS and 500 to LHS. You get 900 minus 500 is equal to 5x. So that means your 5x is equal to 400, or x is equal to 400 upon 5, which is 80. So now you have 80 5 rupee notes. That means the number of 5 rupee notes is 80. And how many 10 rupee notes you have? Which is 90 minus x, that is 10 10 rupee notes you have with you. So the number of notes of each denomination are 80 and 10 respectively. Let's look at the next question. A person spent 564 rupees in buying pens and pencils. If the cost of each pen is 7 rupees and each pencil is 3 rupees, and if the total number of things bought was 108, how many of each type did he buy? So how many total number of things did he buy? 108. So there are 108 things that the person bought. Out of this, there are some pens and there are some pencils. Let us assume he bought some X pens. If the total number of things he bought is 108 and he bought only pens and pencils, if there are X pens, how many pencils did he buy? Obviously 108 minus X pencils he bought. Now the cost of each pen is 7 rupees. That means the cost of X pens must be 7x rupees. And the cost of each pencil is 3 rupees. So the cost of 108 minus X pencils must be 3 times 108 minus X rupees. Isn't it? 3 times 108 minus X is nothing but 324 minus 3x rupees. So this is the cost of pencils. This is the cost of pens. What is given to us? The person spent 564 rupees. So the total amount must be 564. So that means your 7x plus this 324 minus 3x must be equal to 564. Let's now simplify this. 7x minus 3x is 4x. So 324 plus 4x is equal to 564, or 4x is equal to 564 minus 324. When you transpose 324 to the right hand side, what will this be? 564 minus 324 is 240. Now if 4x is equal to 240, what is x? X must be 240 divided by 4, which is 60. So he bought X pens, that is he bought 60 pens. And how many pencils did he buy? 108 minus x, that is 108 minus 60, which is 48. So yeah, he bought 60 pens and 48 pencils. Let's look at the next question. The perimeter of a school volleyball court is 177 feet and the length is twice the width. what are the dimensions of the volleyball court? The perimeter of a volleyball court is 177 feet. Volleyball court is of rectangular shape. So the perimeter of a rectangle is given by 2 times L plus B. This 2 times L plus B, that is this perimeter, is equal to 177 feet. Now what is given? The condition is length is twice the width. Length is 2 times the width, that is 2 times breadth or width, both mean the same. So let's substitute this in this. You have L is equal to 2B, this is plus B is equal to 177. When we simplify this, you have 2 times 3B is equal to 177, 6B is equal to 177. That implies your B is 177 upon 6, which is 29.5. So if the width is 29.5, that is breadth or width is 29.5 feet, then your length must be 2 times of this 29.5, that must be 59 feet. Okay, let's look at the next question. The sum of the page numbers on the facing pages of a book is 373. What are the page numbers? Now let me assume the numbers on the facing pages are x and x plus 1. Now the sum of these page numbers is equal to 373. That means your x plus 1 will be equal to 373. When we simplify this, you get 2x plus 1 is equal to 373. That implies your 2x is equal to 373 minus 1, which is 372. So x must be 372 divided by 2, which is 186. So the numbers of the facing pages are 186 and 186 plus 1, that is 187. Okay. Find x in the following figures. So what we are given? We are given a triangle with 2 interior angles and 1 exterior angle. Now to find x, we use the properties of triangle. According to a property of triangle, one exterior angle is equal to sum of 2 opposite interior angles. That means this 123 degrees must be equal to sum of the opposite interior, opposite to this 123 degrees, that is x degrees and 56 degrees. So 123 degrees must be equal to x degrees plus 56 degrees. Now what you see? This is a linear equation. Let's simplify this. To simplify, we transpose 56 to the left hand side. You get 123 minus 56 is equal to x degrees, which means your x degrees is equal to 67 degrees. Let's look at the next question. In this triangle, if we want to find out x, what is given to us? We are given 3 interior angles, that is 45 degrees, 68 degrees and 3x plus 16 degrees. Now to find out the value of x, we use the same thing, that is the properties of triangle. Now which property we will be using? We know that sum of all the 3 interior angles of a triangle must be equal to 180 degrees. So using this property, what we must have? We must have this 3x plus 16 plus this 45 plus this 68 must be equal to 180. 3x plus 16 plus 45 plus 68. Let's simplify this LHS first. When you add 16 plus 45 plus 68, you get 129. So the LHS becomes 3x plus 129 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. Now what is this? This is again a linear equation in the variable x. Now to solve for x, we transpose 129 to the right hand side. You get 3x as 180 minus 129, which is 51 degrees. Now if 3x is equal to 51 degrees, what is x? X must be 51 divided by 3, which is 17 degrees. So the value of x is 17 degrees. Look at this question. Again, we are given a triangle ABC where there are 3 interior angles and we are asked to find out x. We can use the same property of triangle. Sum of all these interior angles must be equal to 180 degrees, right? So 25 degrees plus this 30 degrees plus this x degrees must be equal to 180 degrees. Let's simplify LHS first. 25 degrees plus 30 degrees is 55 degrees. So 55 degrees plus x degrees must be 180. Now what is this? This is again a linear equation. Let's solve for x. Transpose this 55 to the right hand side. You get x degree as 180 minus 55, which is 125 degrees. So the value of x is 125 degrees. Look at this question. We are given a triangle XYZ. This triangle is an isosceles triangle. Now to find out this value of x here, we use the property of isosceles triangle. Now we know that in an isosceles triangle, angles opposite to the equal sides are equal. Now you see in this isosceles triangle, XY is an equal side and XZ is an equal side, right? What is the angle which is opposite to this side XY? It is angle Z, and the angle opposite to the side XZ is angle Y. So according to this property, these two angles must be equal. Alright, that means your 2x plus 7 must be equal to 45 degrees. Now what we have? We again have a linear equation. Let's simplify for x. You get 2x is equal to 45 minus 7, which is 38. 2x is 38, so what x must be? It must be 38 divided by 2, which is 19 degrees. So the value of x is 19 degrees in this case. Look at the next question. Now here we are given two triangles, triangle ABO and triangle OCD. Both these triangles are isosceles triangles. Now we will be using the same property of isosceles triangles. Now here in this triangle ABO, side AB and side AO are equal sides. Okay, if side AB and side AO are equal sides, what is the angle which is opposite to the side AB? It is this angle BOA. Alright, and side AO is one of the other equal sides, so the side the angle which is opposite to this side AO is 3x plus 10. So these two angles must be equal. That means you must get this also as 3x plus 10. That means to say your angle ABO must be equal to angle BOA, which is 3x plus 10 degrees. This makes sense? Now you see, you have a vertex here and you have an angle here. So this angle must be same. This angle also must be equal to 3x plus 10 degrees. Why? Because this is vertically opposite angles. Alright. So that means to say angle COD must also be 3x plus 10 because this is a vertically opposite angle. Now if you observe, angle OCD is also an isosceles triangle. That means to say the angles opposite to the equal sides must be equal. You see this side, and side CO is an equal side and side CD is an equal side. What is the angle opposite to this side CO? It is this angle CDO or ODC. And what is this side CD? What is the angle opposite to that? It must be this angle COD. So these two angles must be equal. So if this is 3x plus 10, this angle must also be equal to 3x plus 10. This makes sense now? Now you see, you observe this triangle OCD, we have three angles, two same angles which is 3x plus 10 degrees and the apex angle as 2x degrees. Now to find out the value of x, we use the same property of triangle, which is sum of all the angles is equal to 180 degrees. That means 2x plus this 3x plus 10 plus this 3x plus 10 must be equal to 180 degrees. Let's simplify the left hand side first. 2x plus 3x is 5x, 5x plus 3x is 8x, 10 plus 10 is 20. So it must be 8x plus 20 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. Now again this is a linear equation. To solve for this, let's transpose this 20 to the right hand side. You get 8x is equal to 160, or x must be 160 divided by 8, which is 20 degrees. So the value of x in this case is 20 degrees.